In today's video, I am going to be doing a full book review of Invested by Danielle Town with contributions from Phil Town. First, I'm going to give you a brief overview about the book so that you can know what to expect if you decide to read it for yourself. Then I'm going to share with you some insights about the authors and why I think that they are worth listening to. Next, I will share my top 5 key takeaways from this book. And finally, I will conclude by giving you my recommendation on the book and who I think this book is most relevant for. Hi, I'm Sam. Thanks for tuning into our channel where we explore achieving wealth and financial freedom through a 3-part strategy. Earn more, spend less, and invest the rest. If you liked today's video, please help us grow by subscribing to our channel. Before we get into it, this is my first book review video, so if you have any suggestions on the type of information you would like to see from me or books that you would like me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments. Invested describes the journey of how the author Danielle Town went from being very resistant to investing all the way through overcoming her fears and doubts to becoming a successful value investor by applying the principles taught to her by her dad, Phil Town. The book is laid out in a very tactful way that combines Danielle telling her personal story while at the same time giving very practical and useful information about investing. Moreover, there is a 12-month plan with tangible action items that, if followed, the reader can use to help them progress along their own journey to financial freedom. In my opinion, the greatest strength of this book is that it is so easily digestible. Danielle is able to take very complex topics and investing practices and break them down in such a way that even the most resistant or fearful person of investing would be able to get through this book without being turned off. And she does this by employing a few key tools. So the first tool that she uses is that she scaffolds information. And what I mean by that is she very gradually builds step by step, starting with simple concepts and then building onto more complex topics. And so by doing it this way, it's a lot easier to understand and it's less overwhelming for the reader. She also uses a ton of practical examples and images throughout the book to help support the learning. And finally, and this is my favorite thing that she does, she uses a lot of really great metaphors to help ground the information and make it relatable. In fact, let me read one of my favorite metaphors from the book that Danielle uses when she talks about how she first learned about inflation and how much it affects your financial future. That I had missed out on an important piece of information annoyed the crap out of me. To ponder a concept that you've always had some sense of, but never actually thought much about, is like discovering you have a huge booger just barely hanging on in the inside of your nostril. You knew it existed hidden in the dark hole this whole time, but now you really see it in all of its hideous glory. I thought about inflation every day, and every time it came to mind, I also wondered, what else had I missed? All right, let's talk a little bit about the authors of this book. Danielle Town is the daughter of famed value investor Phil Town. He is a very successful hedge fund manager and a best-selling author himself with his books Rule 1 and Payback Time. He also teaches investing courses. Of all the gurus out there, I honestly have to say that the lessons we learned from Phil Town are the most impactful to Chris and I's personal investment strategy and also the growth of our wealth. So needless to say, we are pretty huge fans of Phil Town. Danielle is a former startup attorney with a really impressive educational background. She has transformed into a best-selling author and a personal finance guru in her own right, and she co-hosts a very popular podcast with her dad. In my opinion, the team of Danielle and Phil Town make a very relatable and credible team of authors. All right, let's move on to my top 5 key takeaways from this book. Number 1, to have any shot in hell at financial freedom or even a decent retirement, you cannot hoard your money, nor can you abdicate responsibility for your money to another person. And this includes money managers. Number two, you need to find your own way in to feeling excited about investing, or in other words, a handhold that you can grip onto so that the prospect of investing and doing your research is something that is sustainable and that you are excited about doing. In Danielle's case, she talks about the fact that she realized that she could use investing as a way to vote for her values with her money. So just like as a consumer, you would purchase products or buy things from companies that you believe have good values, you can do the same thing in investing. And it was this handhold that she used in order to get excited about her investing practice. Number three, anyone, and I mean anyone, can invest. If you can do simple math, you are capable of investing. We are conditioned by the money system to be afraid of investing, and that is done intentionally. The way that you overcome this fear is by gaining knowledge, and then you put that knowledge into practice, which makes you confident. And once you are confident, you will feel confident in what you are doing with your own investing activities. Number four, you must think of investing in the same way that you would think of owning a company. It is not just about having invisible shares on some computer screen. You are actually becoming a part owner in a company, and therefore you need to do your research and make informed decisions about the companies that you are investing in. The book explains that the research you do for the companies you invest in should revolve around four key principles that were outlined by Charlie Munger. Now, anybody who has watched our channel before, you know that these four key concepts are something that we talk about all the time. It's nothing new here. These are the same four questions that Chris and I always ask ourselves whenever we are considering any investment. And they are as follows. Do you understand the business? Does the business have a moat, or in other words, durable competitive advantages that protect that business from its competition? Does the business have good management? Are they honest and are they capable? And finally, is there a margin of safety? Or in other words, can you value that investment and then buy it at a discount to that value? And this leads me to key takeaway number 5. The book describes 3 methods that you can use for pricing or valuing an investment: 10 cap, payback time, and margin of safety, all of which are described in detail in the book. In conclusion, I really like this book, and I would definitely recommend it for anybody who is new to investing, or you are a beginner and you want to get your feet underneath you with this whole investing idea. I would also recommend it for folks who are maybe a bit more experienced investing and you want to strengthen your understanding of value investing principles, or how you can make money by mitigating some risk and taking a value investing approach. I would also really recommend this for value investors to buy in order to give it as a gift to somebody that you care about. I can tell you in my own personal experience, I have some folks in my circle who are really resistant and a little bit afraid of investing. And I gave them this book and they really liked it and found that it was super easy to read and made them excited about investing. So if you're a value investor and you want to get more people on this value investing train, I think this is a great gift for you to give to somebody you care about. And finally, I would recommend this to women. I think that representation is really important, and to be honest, it is hard to come by good books about money and personal finance and investing that are written from the viewpoint of a woman. So I personally found this relatable, and I really loved hearing about Danielle's voice in the whole process. So I think any woman investor would enjoy reading this book as well. Alright guys, that's it for me. I hope that you liked this video and found it useful. If you did, please let me know by hitting that like button, or better yet, subscribing to our channel. We would also really love to connect with you on social media, especially on our Facebook group. Remember, earn more, spend less, and invest the rest, and we'll see you next time.